All right. I am starting again. I should turn off emote only mode. There we go. Bot is still there. That's good news. Okay. Getting back to what I was working on. Actually, while I was off stream, getting ready to start again, I got it to like not round to the nearest integer at the end. It was like instead of 0, it was 0.1 or 0.00011 something. Like, how the heck did I do that? But I haven't been able to recreate that problem, so I don't know what I did. I haven't been able to reproduce that, so I'm not going to worry about it. I'll get rid of that intervals message. Thing. Okay, anyway. I noticed something. I think I know, like this bug where you can select above the top. If I zoom all the way in, notice that if I'm like above the middle of the pixel, it goes one row up. And if I'm below the middle of the pixel, it goes on the correct row. And if I'm like above the middle of the second row, I'm still on the first row. I think the problem is we're off by half of a pixel when we're converting from the mouse position to the row. I think it also might be true for the column. Yes. So both the row and the column are off by half pixel. I need to find out where that would be done. Cross selection, right? Actually, this cursor position, it might already be wrong. Nope, not wrong there. Is it this, maybe? Oh yeah, that's already wrong. Shoot. So I need to like add half a pixel, don't I? Or is it this subtracting half a pixel that's doing it, maybe? Yeah, it looks like, I think this is wrong. Let's just comment that out and see if that fixes it. Yep, that fixed it. Well, that was easy. Okay, well, Cool. Ah. Now I gotta go back to where I was working on here. Drawing horizontal ruler. I think there were two more things I wanted to do with that ruler. One was when the selection thing is up there, I think I want to draw the background of the selection to be a black rectangle. And the second thing is to draw the minor interval. So, like, at least a little tick every pixel. But if it's zoomed out enough, maybe like out to here, maybe it would be every 5 pixels or something. We got to like do a similar thing to how we pick the major interval. We need to pick the minor interval. Let me do the rectangular, the background of the selection though. That'd be here, right? Horizontal ruler mark? Yeah, right here. So after we get this, it's UI.painter.rect build from in size, text position, and text galley size. Corner radius, none. For 0, yep. Fill color, black. Sam Sapiol 30, hello. Welcome to the second half of the stream. I had to pause for half an hour because I had stomach pain. Still there, but it's not getting any worse. It's slowly getting better. So I don't know. I must have ate something bad. The stomach not happy. Okay, it's not drawing that rectangle. Or is it that we're drawing it too late? That might be why. Might be drawing over it. So if I pick a different color, that would prove it, right? Do a red rectangle. Nope, it's not drawing it at all. Okay, then what am I doing wrong? Oh, that should be red, and that should be white, I guess. Yeah. If I see red, then I know that it's drawing in the wrong order. Oh, and it's the wrong one. Oh, we're doing the wrong one, that's why. Okay, so let me do this over in the... This is actually the vertical rule, the vertical text, isn't it? I completely have those back reversed. Yeah, I need to swap those two, really. Well, now that I think about it, having the number in red is kind of nice. I don't know if it's necessary though, but yeah, this should be black. Black, black. Okay, so let's this one needs to be horizontal. I'm gonna end it with a underscore, just so I can not hit at name while I fix it. And then I can change this back. Hey, G-Bone 1. Why did I say 3? G-Bone 1. How are you doing? So these are going to be out of order now, right? So I have to go up here, sort methods alphabetically, and now they're correct. It's like town but with a B. Bound. Do I say that? Do I pronounce the G though? Do I say G-Bound? Yep. All right. Hey there, G-Bound. Cool. So we're covering the tick mark. I don't really want to cover the tick mark completely though. I'm thinking what I should do is take the text in the ruler and actually align it to the top instead of the bottom of the tick mark, and then make the tick mark a little bit taller. Parser, haven't worked much on it, although did find out that there was a bug in the GIF format. Turned out this grammar, this right here, graphic block, is technically a bug. If you follow this grammar strictly, you can only have one graphic control extension, but we actually found a GIF that had 2 of them. So I had to go like update the format for graphical control extension so that it or no, the parent of graphical control extension. So data block is more flat than it was before. I think what I had before is graphic rendering block could have an extension and then the image, but it turns out that like this really should read, I think, 0 plus. I think they made a mistake here. That's the only real change in the parser in a while, because I've been super hyper focused on this image viewer. So I'm almost done with the image viewer. I'm working on that ruler at the top right now. I think I just need to get maybe fine tune the text there, maybe move the text up so that you can see the tick mark through the cursor position, and then add the minor marks. I know it is cool. I like it. We could also draw with an alpha. I don't know. You know, I'm just going to leave it the way it is, and we're just going to draw the minor marks right now. Yeah, so I don't know if anyone's watching that was watching before, but I started the stream about an hour ago, and I wasn't feeling so well after like 15 minutes. So then I took like a half an hour break to you know, walk around a little bit, drink a bunch of water, and the stomach pain I was having is going down. It's still there, so I don't know. I must have ate something bad. Seen Rust in so many Java offers. What's Rust used for? It's just one of the newer languages that has been popping up. That's based off of safety. So you know, like Swift is a supposedly safer version of Objective C, and like Rust is sort of like a safer version of C or C++. And you won't see a lot of the safety features in this image viewer I'm working on, but whenever you have to deal with sharing data within a program, like concurrency, race conditions, that kind of thing. The type system and the compiler are a lot more strict in Rust. So yeah, I'd encourage you to check out the intro on that page, rust-lang.org, if you're curious about it. But you'll see like the syntax is should be pretty familiar if you know C or C++. Just got in, long day, don't feel like got a lot done. That's me most days. Working on parsing certain types of barcodes. Oh, cool. I've been wanting to look into how QR codes are designed and scanned. I think that would be interesting to learn more about. And the way I understand it, it's an extension of barcodes. It's like a 2D barcode. Yeah, you too? Yeah. I figure there's probably a good site out there that is comprehensive and you can learn from, and I just haven't looked for it yet. You just know C# still learning because it's your first language? That's cool. See, once you've learned enough of it, you could probably look at code written in another language and at least get the gist of it. You might be like wondering some of the syntax, like &self, what does that mean? Because in some, I don't remember in C#, but I think in C# you do not have the first parameter that's implicit in C# or C++, the this pointer or the self pointer, however you want to think about it. In Rust, it's explicit. So this just is a hint that this draw selection is a method of a class. In Rust, structs are the universal like class or classy type. So this struct inner is the one that has the methods. Kind of like in Objective-C in Rust, you separate the structure definition from the methods you attach to it. In C++, you would mix them. I think in C# it's also you mix the fields of the class or structure with the methods. But you know, with that short explanation, you probably makes sense now. These are the fields of the structure, and these are the methods of the structure, because it's object oriented. Feel like I've spent most of your time in C and C-like languages and other random languages. A lot of them are very similar to each other because they leverage each other's features that have worked out well, and they try to find a new mix of well-designed features. So once you design something really well in one language, it's apt to be borrowed and redone in other languages too, right? I gotta find where I was working on. It was draw. How come I'm not seeing it? Like the rulers. Probably because they're down here. Yeah. Draw horizontal ruler. Yeah, Go's a good language. I spent like one stream and one day looking at it, and I'm like, this is pretty cool, but it feels like Rust, and I'd rather just dive deeper into Rust. So like you're asking before, like what it's used for. So for example, there are now kernel modules in Linux written in Rust. I think it was initially designed by the Mozilla team to improve the safety of their browser core. But it's positioned now to be like just another choice as a general programming language, same as Go or C++ or C# or C. I really like it because of the strict type system, also because it has built-in dependency management, and it gets enhanced when you have plugins like I forget that I'm using some plugin in VS Code here where it actually checks to see if I have the latest of different dependencies, and it says, "Oh, you're a version behind on eGUI, and WGPU are 2 versions behind." It's like, oh, I should just look, and it's a reminder that I should go look and update the dependencies. And all I really need to do is change that to a from a 1 to a 2, and the tools automatically like download that version of the dependency and link with build it and link with it and all that stuff. So I really like how there's built-in package management. Not all languages have that. C++ traditionally hasn't had it at all, so you have to bring your own, and that's always been a pain point for me. Well, the other thing is that there's no preprocessor for like pound define this and that, pound includes, and to me that's a source of 80% of my grief. So I really prefer a language that you don't have macros. Well, the preprocessor macros. Basically C, but safer and optimized. That's kind of subjective because you can make safe C, but I would say that the safety and not so much optimization, but the type safety and the memory safety is more. There's more stress on it in the design, whereas with C, it's a lot looser. Now that said, you can make Rust code that's just as loose as C. You just have to mark everything as unsafe. If I'm on the keyboard correctly. So inside of an unsafe block, you can do basically everything you can do in C. You can change types, you can get pointers, you can pass around pointers. It's fine. But it's frowned upon because the unsafe, whatever code you put into unsafe block, you as the programmer are kind of taking on the burden of ensuring that it really is safe, and if it's not, you can cause an invariant that the compiler is assuming to be wrong, and then all sorts of fun things happen. Border path, left and right edges. Major intervals, I think we're going to draw the minor intervals then. I think I'm just going to keep it simple. I'm going to take the major interval and try dividing it by factors that start large and go smaller until we find one that fits. And if we do, then we'll draw them. So similar to this. So I'm just going to take that code and as a model, start with that. And then, so we kind of want to go the other way, right? We want to start at like, I think 10 will be the highest. I'm just thinking, if the major interval is like a multiple, like 2 times 10 to the n, dividing by 5, or that's not going to work, is it? It should go the other way. It should probably be what I started with. And this is not the number of minor intervals. This is the actual interval. So I actually want to get back out what that interval was. Best thing would be to refactor this into a function right now. Have it return something that we use in the other place. Extract into function. What to call it? Try drawing major intervals. Specifically, I can't like Alt moved half a word over. Weird. Oh, there's a lot of arguments. Too many. Too many arguments. Too many arguments. Too many arguments. Yeah, we were already kind of pushing it there. Loss of precision. Same thing we're suppressing there. Too many arguments. So I don't know why it's having me return a tuple. Range and base interval. I don't really need that, do I? Oh, because it thinks I'm using them later. Okay. This I should not have included that in the function call. Wait, those are wait, what? Okay, take that back then. If I just repeat that, I don't need to return, and the base interval isn't needed either. Yeah, really what I wanted this to be is let interval, major interval. I wanted this to be if let sum. So this should be like an option. Then this is some interval. Else none. I think of how that might be written better, but I can't think right now about it. So, okay, so draw minor intervals. I wanted to just grab that range again. Oh, I already have it. I have it right there. Okay, so it's not scale. It's the thing. The let minor interval. This should be just something more simpler, right? This would be like the number of pixels. So if I got the pixel width here, remove the half part of it. So pixel width times minor interval is greater than or I don't know, some threshold. Min minor interval spacing. Let's just set that to like 3 pixels or something like that. And then I think I could chain this, right? And minor interval is less than. Actually, why don't I just put that in here? Major interval. Also, we want to make sure that the don't know how to do it in Rust off the top of my head, so I'm just going to look it up. So like what we want to know is if two floats, if one is divisible into the other without a remainder. So let's ask the AI. In Rust, how can you tell that one float divides even, or divide is an integer multiple of another float? See what my AI overlord says. That's what I was thinking. Just divide and see if it's within a threshold, but I'm like, maybe there's a. It says that there's. Okay, this is someone wrote it, I guess. Is multiple. This is what you were thinking, Joda Interactive. You divide them, round them, and multiply, and it should. Well, it does equal. It doesn't actually check a threshold, does it? Yeah, this one sees if it's less than epsilon, some kind of tolerance thing. I was hoping that it would just be built into the standard library. Use frac to check if there's a non-zero fractional part. Fract. Okay. So I would take something and subtract its fractional part to see if it's the same? Oh no, just see if the fractional part is near 0. Major interval fract. So I can just do F32 epsilon. There we go. Yeah, I wanted to try to use things from the standard library. So if there's already a fractional part and there's already an epsilon, we can use those, right? So only if we find one of these, we're going to then draw between every major mark. Actually, I guess we're going... the thing is that to be careful. Is if we don't start at 0, like I zoom in here, let's say we... here the major interval is 5, but it starts at 27, right? 27 might not start on a minor interval thing. So what would I do there? I have to find out the first minor tick. That would be that left position. Well, how am I finding out the minor, the major drawing points? Okay, I'm doing this thing. So I'm adding 1, and then rounding up. Okay, that makes sense. I think I wouldn't I just do the same thing? Math is hard for me. So like here, well, that's a bad example because probably here the minor tick is going to be 1s. But let's say we scroll out and we decide, or scroll out and decide here to do every 2. And we start at 17. We wouldn't want to start at 17. We actually want to start at 18. But how would we know that we want to start at 18? The first major is at 20. So we go to 20 and then just go backwards. I guess I would take the first major tick, subtract the left, divide by the minor interval and round down. Then multiply by the minor interval again. I think that's how the math is going to look weird though. So I need these two. Well, actually, I just need this one. So we're going to count up from there. Glad I'm feeling better. I don't know what that was, but I ate something bad for dinner, I guess. My stomach did not like it, but it's not getting any worse. It's getting better, so no emergency room visit, hopefully. Oh, minor. So then, yeah, it's first is that we don't need to compute. I already actually had that math there. Okay, we already had the math. I don't think I need last. Let's just comment it out. Do I need, what did I use half pixel width for? UI. Oh, right, that was important. Okay. Whoops. Put the mouse in the wrong spot. That's first major. I think then we can find out where the first minor is. It's first major minus left image. Well, I think it's just called left. It is left image. And then I need to divide by minor interval. Then that has to be floored. Then I need to add left image again. Okay, so then basically gonna add a minor mark everywhere, including drawing over the major ones, because why not? Although I guess we could skip them if we wanted. Yeah, I think we still want to calculate that. Makes me think that along with having all these arguments, that we probably want to make like another type that holds on to some of this state for us that we can reuse. This is minor interval. Add into the first minor. While it's less than, but last major. No. Right image. Yeah. Okay, and then here we don't draw text, we're just drawing the line, and the line is not as tall. So this should be like just subtracting a constant. Minor interval size. I'll just do like 4 pixels. I'm just guessing. Use map or instead of if let else. Okay. Now it's saying using option and then sum is more succinctly express this map. Okay. I'm gonna go back before it made the suggested changes. I'm just gonna ignore it for now. I'm accumulating things to do. That's okay though. I kind of just wanted to get it functionally correct and then refactor it. All right. We already have minor ticks and it's drawing them in the wrong positions. Okay, it should have started way over here. I actually think it's drawing it correctly. It's just starting from there and not from back there. And I can actually see it over. So we want to like skip over drawing the major ones because it's making it look kind of weird. Also, I think the min spacing is too small. Okay, so why is the what is it? This first minor is incorrect. The first major minus left image. By the minor interval. Floor. Oh wait, hold on. Do I need to multiply back by the minor interval again? Gonna make me do a mul add. Oh, I don't want to. I don't want to add left image, do I? Shoot. I want to subtract that from first major. The math is correct now. Oh, looks better. Yep. And let's have it skip. When we reach a major interval, we'll have it skip it because I can see a little bit of overdraw. Kind of hard to see, but if I bring the magnifier back on. I'd like tell it to move. Didn't do it. I guess if I drag it though. There we go. There's my magnifier. Do I move? Move Magnus. Move. Move over here. So if I like scroll up there, see on that 62, you can kind of see it kind of it's not on a pixel boundary, so the white line for 62 to the taller one, you can see it being overdrawn at the bottom by something else. Thank you, Magnus. You can move away now. So how do we skip those then? I guess we say if mark not in, so how do we know? Oh, I guess we would just divide it by the, I know what I would do. If mark minus first major divided by major interval fraction less than F32 epsilon. Continue. And just to make sure that we're not drawing over it, let's temporarily draw them in red. We can see them better. Okay. Oh, and I screwed it up somehow. Oh, because these are all negative, right? Anyway, yeah, it's not drawing over the major ones, but it's also not drawing the ones to the left. I think that's because I need to do apps here. Or apps on the other side. Because a negative number will always be less than epsilon, but if I take the absolute value and then take the fractional part, then it'll always be positive. Okay, that fixed it. That fixed it. So back to drawing red ones, and then I need to increase, or back to drawing them in white, and I need to increase the min interval. So white, and then put that to I don't know, about 6. I should have counted the pixels to see, because if it was set to 4 before, I don't know if it was working correctly. Yeah, see, I don't think it's working correctly. It's still drawing them really super close together. Oh wait, I think I know why. We have to convert that to screen coordinates. So the 4 was probably correct before. Oh, that's the wrong variable anyway. Shoot. So it's this spacing one, right? Yeah, 3 is probably correct. It is doing pixel width times minor interval. Maybe, that's not the pixel width, is it? Yeah, it is. Hey, actually, you know what? Technically, this range is not correct. It should be right minus left plus 1, right? Because the right is inside the viewable area, not outside the viewable area. And where I copied that again, I need to fix that. Inside here. Yeah, so where I use this range, yeah, so it's like really I need to add 1 there, off by 1. Okay, anyway, back, okay. Maybe just this does need to be bigger. About 6. Okay, we're looking better. It doesn't draw them too densely. And they're never less than 1 pixel. They're being drawn in the right spot. Oh, they're half pixel off. I'm half pixel off again. How did that happen? I think it's that range thing. Let me look closer where I use this range. Aha. Um, Actually, if I'm using range in this in math like that, then then I guess this is the range is, yeah, this is wrong then. It was correct before. How am I going to remember that? From it's like distance from the middle of the first pixel to the middle of the last. What it is. Well, no, it's not because of that. That's not. That's hmm. How did I do this inside of here? Half pixel width is that. So if it's only 2 pixels wide, then whatever the width of the int that is, it's divided by if the range is gonna be 1. Don't I have to add 1 to the range? Yeah. Um, so wait. I am adding 1 to the range. So 2 minus 1 is 1 plus 2. That's correct. But if I've added 1 to the range there, where I use the range down here, I need to add a full pixel. So that's 2 times half pixel. Let's not, because I don't like that freaky math. What if instead I do, I get rid of that 2 and just make this pixel width. And I can just compute half pixel width by multiplying it 0.5 times pixel width. Yeah. Okay, so that's the major. Let me do the minor. Yeah, so that's +1. And then where's this used again? Right, so pixel width, that. Okay. And then this, I have to add a pixel width. Okay. So, big caveat. My coding is the worst when I'm doing UIs, and I tend to fudge things all over the place. And yeah. I think in this case, I fudged it correctly because that's 45, 46, 47. And those tick marks are centered on the pixels. So I think we're good. Despite my best efforts to make it bad. The reason why I'm drawing the left and the right like non-centered is because I wanted to reinforce the fact that those are the first and last pixels. And it might not necessarily like all the interior pixels are centered on the middle of the pixel, but the left, I wanted to emphasize that that is on the left edge and that is on the right edge, especially when we're zoomed out. So 111 is on the right most. 0 is the leftmost. But technically, the way I could have done the math, when it's zoomed in, it actually doesn't look quite correct, right? Because if I center this on like 20, 20 is there. Well, we're not drawing a major mark for it. Was it when I'm zooming even further? Yeah, it's like here. It looks kind of strange that the 34 is hits the left edge when really it could be a little bit to the right, and that 49 is all the way to the right, even though it could have been centered on the pixel. You know what? I think I'm not going to really care that much. I'm just going to call it at this. I think it's close enough. Close enough for government work. I think I can back off on the distance constraint because then I won't have this weird thing happen where was it exactly? Right here, where it didn't draw any ticks between them, for where maybe it could have. You know, actually, it's probably good. Well, let me tweak it a tiny bit. tweak it tiny bit. So make it 5 instead of 6. The university would say good enough is good enough. Yeah, but I tend to obsess. I'm very nitpicky when it comes to how things look. I think it's good now. I think we're good. Although our position's overdrawing the minor tick marks. Do I care about that? Maybe I want the minor tick marks to come from the top instead of the bottom? How would that look? That's easy to test because I can just look where this is used, go back to here, and I can just change this from ruler line to whatever it is on the major ticks. Text baseline. Yes. So text baseline. Plus the text baseline. Yeah. Let's see how that looks. You also, like, if it's worth doing, it's worth doing right. So I'm really bad at doing things both right and correct both right and correct at the same time. So I tend to do like make it right, then make it correct, and then make it fast. So right now we're focusing on making it right, and then I'm not using the right words. Make it work, then make it. I forgot my own axiom. Anyway, does the tick marks look better when they're drawn from the top? I think it would if I weren't overdrawing it with either way, right? If I move the text baseline up just a tad, I think it would look better. So let me see where that text baseline is computed. So what if I like moved it up by like some ratio? So like ruler horizontal ruler text baseline factor text shift factor. Awful constant. Can do better, but as long as I have some name in there, I can easily rename it later. So it was 1.0 effectively. Now I'm gonna change it, just lift it slightly, 1.2, so 20% higher. It goes from Kent Beck. Make it work, make it right, make it fast. Yeah, that was it. Thank you. How come that didn't sound right in my head when I was thinking it? Make it work, make it right, make it fast. Yeah. So I'm on the still making it work phase, and then we'll refactor to make it right, and then if I need to, I'll make it fast later. So that's what I was hoping there, except for now, all of our major text is being clipped off. So that's because we too shallow, too short. So I need to make the ruler height a little bit bigger, 45 pixels. Or I could use a slightly smaller font. We'll see. Yep, now it's drawing them again. Okay, and now I kind of like the way that looks. So I can see where the ruler is. The problem is, like, I can't tell which one's the major mark. I guess it's just going to be the one that's centered under the number. And if my cursor is over it, I'll be able to tell anyway. Like I can tell it's to the right. Now I can tell it's to the left. It's right under it. Yeah, so I think that's good enough. In fact, I think I can maybe trim it back a little bit, or just keep it the way it is. I could also lift the selection number a little bit above and put the minor ticks back on the bottom of the ruler. That's another thing I could do. That's the text-based science ruler line y minus. And then I can just have another constant. So let's define a constant like selection. A kitty. A guest kitty. Hello, kitty. Selection horizontal mark offset. Or shift factor. 0.2. I just need to use this constant now. Down where we draw the thing. Draw instant draw selection. Actually, I think it's going to end up in the submodule. Selection. Yeah, because we have like draw vertical ruler mark, right? Yeah, right here, this position. Right here. So this should be minus text height times that constant, and then we'll just import it. Super. See what that looks like. Yeah, pretty killer. She's got murder mittens that I have to do. If I don't remember to trim them back, she reminds me. That didn't seem to move that text very far. Oh, you know what? It's the one on the left got moved. I moved the wrong one again. Ah. Vertical ruler mark. So right, it goes. It's the other one. So I'm gonna. Well, I'm just gonna put this the way it used to be. It was just this, right? It's the horizontal vertical mark I gotta adjust. Yeah. So multiplied by that. And so really it's 1 point. It's the same shift factor as the ruler. It makes sense to me now. So we're shifting it as much as we're shifting the other text so that we can see the tick marks underneath clearly. You meant the UI, but the cat fits? You'd better be complimenting my cat. Okay, I think it's perfected now, see? That text as it sweeps across doesn't intersect the other text, and it also doesn't overdraw the tick marks. I think this is perfect. I think we can call the horizontal ruler done, and we can work on the vertical ruler. Did I mess up the position of the No, it's not really messed up. It looks. It's just when the row is smaller, when the pixels are shorter, it doesn't look like that text on the left is perfectly centered. I think it's maybe a tiny bit off. Oh, I can mark that other bug fixed, right? The one where you could move the cursor off the end. I fixed that incidentally. I hit some key and this moved to the wrong this moved to the other window. That should go right. Yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah, the to-do list. Too many thoughts floating around in my head. This is done. Okay. Vertical ruler time? Or should I refactor first? I kind of want to get it done and say, hey, it's done. Now we get to refactor. So I don't know what I'm doing here. I'm going to this and comparing that with draw vertical ruler. Aha. So I haven't touched this at all. So it still has the to do to make it 3 line segments. So I'm going to completely steal all the code from this, including the really bad code. It makes me feel like I really should refactor it first. I don't wanna, though. I don't wanna. Well, what's the worst? I'll have to refactor it twice, and I'll kind of know how to refactor it better the second time, because we'll have done it one time. Okay. So, I suppose we'll just go to the bottom here and paste. So, ruler line X, ruler line Y, and there's no difference. It's just line width, only it's bottom instead of left. Okay, so then this one goes away. Okay, border path. I think the way I did this is like just collected these lines together. And then I kind of arranged the segments together and then I collapsed the points. So that we're not doing segments anymore. We're doing the whole border path in one line. So that one matches with this. So this goes away. And then that's not exactly right, is it? Maybe it is. No, it's not right. It's almost right. I have to move these ones to the top, and then I can remove the redundant ones. There we go. So we start the left ruler area left, inner bottom. So at the bottom left, when we draw to the right, then we draw up, and then we draw to the left. Okay, that looks good. Okay, so draw the top and bottom edges, right? We're not drawing any. Hold on, let me check. We're not drawing any numbers except for the selection, right? Yeah, we're not drawing any of them. I'm like, I thought we already did that. Okay, so looks like we need a font. I'm gonna make a bookmark. I can quickly jump between these two. So we have the ruler area and the inner area. What we're missing is I guess it'll be font and then top bottom down here, right? And I place the font first and get rid of these two. And this is going to be top image and bottom image. Okay, so I need to calculate that, right? No, I don't. I just need to borrow the ruler font. And then the top is self zoom top. I keep canceling this window and it keeps popping up. Okay. Despite the interfering pop-up, we did it. All right. So all these ruler line, so this is going to be different, right? Because we don't really, so the text height we're actually going to use later, but I don't need it for the baseline. It's actually going to be, instead of there being a baseline, I have a right edge, right? And I suppose we're going to have to measure it. Or I could just cheat and say it's halfway. It's the ruler height divided by 2 and start from the left. Maybe that's the easiest way to do it. Hey there, Dev with Ricardo. I see you have changed your name. Now you can no longer hide as well because of your name. Hey there, Therapy Kitten. See, there's a little white diamond with a pink background on your name, so it marks you as a VIP, which leads me to believe you're one of a small set of people who might have picked that name. All right. So I'm flipping axes here. So instead of having a baseline here, it's like we need a right edge. Everything's going to be right aligned, right? Would it look better left aligned? Like the outer number is left aligned and the inner number is right aligned. Should the outer numbers be left aligned? Actually, I think it would look better if they were all right aligned but shifted over half the ruler's width. Imagine being a VP. I know, dude, man. I can only imagine. Whose emote is that? Is it a Primogen emote? Oh, the Primogen. Okay. Yeah, graphics code is a real pain for me. It's been a while since I gave an intro of what I'm doing, so I'm gonna do that. Also, I don't know if Dev with Ricardo saw what I was working on from the start, so just a bit brief overview. So this is the main interface of the programmable parser that I'm writing, and you feed it a data file. In this case, it's hogslide.gif. It's this animated GIF here. And you can tell it's a GIF because it's a GIF for the first 3 bytes of the file. But anyway, you feed the program that input file, and then you feed it a second file, which describes in a custom language I designed how the first file is structured, how it's parsed. And it looks like this. So each function here is really describing a blob of data, a component of the file, and the overall file is at the very top. So you can think of it as it's a tree that's splits the area of the file up. So this being the GIF being the whole file, header is some subset of the file, logical screen, and directly, if I click on this, you can see that's the header, logical screen. There's the data, and there's the trailer. So those blocks are all contiguous because we parse them in that order. And it's compositional. So to parse GIF, you have to be able to parse a header, and to parse a header, you have to go into here and parse the signature, parse the version. And when you see S or UI, those are built-in intrinsic formats. S string and UI is unsigned integer. And it's just single byte strings. I don't have UTF-8 or any other kind of encoding. So it really only works for ASCII. If you want something more than ASCII, then you'd have to describe that format. Right now it's not built in. And when I did JSON, I just had such a problem. So instead of using the S type, we're actually using UTF-8 char, and I define that separately like this. If you know UTF-8, you can kind of see how my parsing language works. So the plus means look ahead. So look ahead to the first 4 bits, and then we're testing to see if they match certain patterns to know whether it's an 8-bit, 16, 24, or 32-bit. And you can see the minuses are ignore, so we drop those bits, and we extract like either 4, 5, or 6 bits or 8 bits out from each byte, and we shift them and smash them together, and that's how we get the character. But anyway, this is all compiled when you load it into like a recipe that the parser uses to walk through the file. So what specifically I've been working on lately is when we're parsing an image file format and we get down to getting an image, this is the pop-up that you get on the actual decoded image, but you can't really see that, so I wanted a visualizer that we could put on top. So that's sort of what the idea of this is, that maybe you click an image and it would show what that image looks like, and then you could cycle through the different images here and it would pick different frames. So that's what I've been working on. The past broadcast while doing busy work, just a question, can't you bury the data in the GIF, or does that invalidate the GIF? Bury the data? I'm not sure what you mean by bury the data. So let me make some guesses about what you might have meant, unless you can type something to clarify. So this is reading a static file on disk. We can't edit it yet, but that might be a future feature where we can like change the bytes in here or insert or delete bytes and see how it parses. And that would be very useful if you had a damaged file and you were trying to repair it. You would hone into where the parser is having trouble, and it actually marks it in red if it has an issue parsing. So you could zoom in, so to speak, on the bits that are bad and like kind of repair them in place. So it doesn't do that yet. In your first cup of coffee, ignore you. Yeah, right now it's statically parsing a file on disk, but in the future it might be possible that we could edit it directly in the bytes or in the data and have it do the inverse of parsing, which I guess would be serializing or encoding. Although that's harder when you have formats like GIF or JPEG or PNG that have compression, because encoders have the flexibility to make decisions on how things are encoded. And so, like, for example, when you get an image data, there are lots of ways you can encode that in GIF. At different points, you could decide to reset the coding table, for example. So there's multiple coding. There are. I think it's practically an infinite number, not infinite, but there's a large number of possible encodings of GIF. Once you have it encoded a certain way, there's only one valid decoding of it. So parsing is much easier. Decoding or parsing is much easier than encoding. So I'm doing the easier stuff now. I suppose if we were doing encoding, we could see what the original file looked like and have the encoder try to make the same decisions. Because I think the most typical case of this would be that you're just tweaking one value somewhere. Like maybe you're going and saying, I want to change 1 pixel in here, encode it the same way that it was encoded before. Just when you get to that one value that's different, try to fit it in as best you can with minimal changes to the encoding. I think even then it might not be guaranteed that we could do it easily, right? Anyway, talking too much. Graphics is hard for me, so we're going to need the text height, but actually we don't really need it in this outer function, do I? So maybe I just I'm going to need that later, but I'll comment it out for now. Definitely don't need text baseline. I think we're going to call this the text text align right. If I just rename it in place. Text right. Just text right. Okay, and we'll just assume right now that it's something we can just take the ruler line X is, oh, here we go. What? What am I? Oh, I think that's because I copied it from the horizontal one. Oh, right, because we're skipping over the line. Okay, that makes sense. So that's just skipping over the line. So we want to take that. Oh, this left ruler. I want to take that and subtract half the left ruler area's width. That's what I want. Or really, don't I just want to start from the inner area left and subtract half that width? I think that's what I want. Kind of feel that that's what I should have done for the horizontal one instead of doing this shifting thing, but we'll see. Full interval bounds is from the ruler area left, ruler area top. Actually, I guess that we could just say it's the top left, right? Wait, for the horizontal ruler, it was inner area left. Oh yeah, so I want to do inner area top for the second coordinate, inner area. And left ruler left. Okay, and then it's flipped around, right? So it's text right and then inner area bottom. Interval bounds. So it's that, and then we're drawing text and adjusting it. So well, can I use text height? It's always going to be the same, right? Yeah. So then this does do that check that maybe I should be doing. Okay, I'll get through this. It's just going to take me some thinking. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to say if, very simple, if interval bounds height is greater than or equal to text height, then we have enough room to draw to set the top to be the well, there's like an expand, right? Or don't I just want to do min plus equal text height? Min dot y, right? Can I just do that? Yeah, and then we see if this would be if then max is minus equal. We're just shrinking it down so that we're not going to overdraw the top and bottom text. Oh, I was supposed to draw. Yeah. Well. Whoop, what happened? This was specifically drawing on the horizontal ruler, so I'm just gonna give it a better name. Draw horizontal ruler text. And then this one's got to call. Yeah, let me restore the way that this code is from here. Back to here. Only we're going to say vertical. Top and bottom, right? Because this both checks to see if it'll fit and draws it if it does fit. And if we did draw it, then we want to set the top. What? Oh, yeah, okay. That's what I should have been doing. I should have been doing set top, not going in there and setting it myself. And this is top bound. Top bound, top bound bottom. Why did I call it bound? Boundary of the text, I guess? Yeah, I shouldn't have called it bound. That doesn't make sense. It's like the left. Okay, well, it is a boundary. It's the boundary of where the left text was drawn. So this is the boundary of where the top text was drawn. So where the top text was drawn, the bottom of that, and then minimum interval bounds bottom. So no further down than the bottom. Yeah, okay. So this is bottom bound, and this is bottom image. How come it doesn't like that? I don't know. These coordinates aren't right. I want to get this other thing done. Bound by leather. Hit it, Mr. Balrog. Knock knock, who's there? Britney Spears. Knock knock, who's there? Britney Spears. Oops, you did it again. Yes, you did. Mr. Balrog's not a bad bot. Mr. Balrog just likes cheesy jokes. Oh, I gotta wind down soon. If I didn't have that stomach issue and just have to stop streaming for half an hour, I would have gotten further tonight. I guess what I'll try to do is I'll just finish the ruler and not completely finish the image viewer. Anyway, so it'll be set top, bottom bound top, max with the top of the interval. Right. So the position that we draw it in, it's going to be the anchor is going to be center right. So the center right would be the x coordinate would be that I already calculated it, right? Ruler line, not ruler line, but text right. So it's text right, then inner area top. And then this would be same thing but bottom. Let me get this thing done, because if we get this done, then I can test at least this far and see if it's working. So we want vertical ruler text within bounds. Okay, so we're still laying out the text. What we really care about is the height, right? Plus the Y margin. Center Y is the position X clamped bounds top plus height over 2 margin X or Y and to the bottom. Clamping it within range, and then alignment is center right. So top left position is the position X minus, it would be just like this line, right? So hold on, let me just flip these two. Flip the dimensions. So this is the width of the rectangle minus the X margin. And then this is center Y minus height over 2. Yeah. So it's just we're flipping the X and the Y. Okay, that's correct. Okay. Fine. Call hierarchy. Here it is. And then I'm just going to comment all this stuff out for now because I want to at least see partial progress. I'm going to say we're not using some of this stuff, right? I'm just commenting that out because I think I need to use that later. This is just saying I can do that with a mul add. Okay. See if I made progress. So hopefully it'll draw the vertical min-max. Might need to make the ruler wider though. Nope, it fit. We are overdrawing it. I'm gonna have to make it wider, aren't I? I'll deal with that later. Let's draw the major marks. I'm encouraged by the fact that that worked. Let's draw major intervals. Try drawing major vertical intervals. Instead of left and right, it's top and bottom. Ruler line X. Top. That's text. We need text bottom. Wait. Text right? What? Oh, I already wherever there was text bottom before, now there's text right. Okay. So here's that huge ugly thing that we're going to now copy. Now I have two ugly things. Draw major vertical. Top, bottom, X, test right. Interval on. Okay, so the range is the... I feel like if I back that up and just rename the parameters, it would save me a lot of time typing. I think that is the correct thing to do. Okay, so now the range, yeah, it's the bottom minus the top plus 1, magnitude's that, interval is that. Then we try these where we try a vertical interval. All this, if it works, first is that, bottom last is that, pixel height, half pixel height. Oh, I did the bad thing. I want to rename the whole name. Then change this. Rename this whole name. There we go. And then this is top, this is bottom. This is top UI. This is bottom UI. Then do mark, all this. So position is top plus mark minus top, all that junk. Draw text if within bounds, the mark, so it's text right position. This thing might need to be, oh yeah, this needs to be renamed. So there needs to be a horizontal version of it and a vertical version of it. But once we do get it right, it's gonna be text right position. To ruler line X position. Okay, so let's go to this. Rename it. Horizontal ruler text if within bounds, and I'm just gonna copy. Yeah, so it's kind of like how I named it like that, right? So if it draw within bounds and draw if within bounds. The within bounds always draws it unless it has no space at all. The if bounds tries to draw it where we say, and if it can't, it doesn't. Yeah, so this one will clamp it, and the other one does not. That's the difference between those two. Draw vertical ruler if within bounds. So it's height, right? Alignment center right. Top left position is flip these two, right? So position X minus galley width minus margin X, position Y minus height over 2. Centers it. Translate, and if it contains it, then draw it. So this function and the other one really only differ on how the alignment is done. So probably when I refactor, I'll combine it back to one function with an alignment parameter that calculates the position differently based off of the alignment you choose. So back here, in here, haven't written that one yet, but this is vertical. Okay, so trial. Need a horizontal version of this, or vertical version of this. And this is out of order. These three that start with a T need to go elsewhere. I need to fix that later. All right, so the sample text is like that, and then actually, hold on. We only had this trial thing because we only really cared about the width, right? So isn't it a lot easier? I just need to have that text height thing, this thing. And I guess we'll just do that, and then I don't need to actually lay anything out, right? I just say that that's the height, is the height of the font. And it's a lot easier, right? Borrow the font, and then it's this height is the height of the interval divided by the number of intervals. So yeah, why did this own the font and this one? Oh, because we had to give the font to a layout with wrap. Okay, so then it's gonna look kind of funny because it's not gonna look like trial horizontal. But we only need to borrow the font there. Oh, it's already borrowed, so we don't need to do that at all. Okay, see if that worked. Refactoring is tomorrow's worries. Yep. Unless tomorrow Unless today is the day where you plan to do the refactoring. Okay, it didn't draw any of the marks. That's unfortunate. We'll have to find out why. I'm thinking it's because the ruler is not wide enough. I want to make it wider to make sure. So, ruler width. Let's make that like 60. Give it plenty of width there. Okay, it's still not drawing it, but I think it should. So now it's time to investigate why it didn't draw it. Also, with the default size, it's not enough to draw the rulers. I guess that makes sense. I'll probably end up making the ruler font smaller and then shrinking the rulers down. They don't need as much space. Let me make it really wide to try to eliminate that as a possibility, and then we're going to descend to printf statements. Hooray for now! That's right. Nope, it's got plenty of space. It's still not drawing it, so we got to find out why. I guess we'll print out the base interval here. And then if the trial succeeds, we'll print out the interval. I'm going to guess the base interval is correct, but the never found a suitable interval because the logic in that function is wrong. That's my guess. Yep. And we are correct. Okay. So what's wrong? The trial is always failing. Oh, wait. Is that right? Was that always a less? Let me think about this. It's supposed to return false. No, it's finding one that works, right? So it's supposed to be true if it would work. Oh, this is the width of the text can fit. This is the wrong thing. This should be no, this is height. The height is less than that height divided by the number. That's what it should be, right? Maybe I got the interval bounds incorrect. Or the range is incorrect. Range is bottom minus top plus 1. I guess we should print all this stuff, right? Print line. Interval bounds. Well, I know the top and bottom image are correct because it draws the text for that, right? It drew it up here. So that's that's the text we're seeing drawn, so we know those are correct. Yeah. I'm thinking that the interval bounds, there's something wrong with that rectangle. Like maybe it's, I got the left and the right swapped or something. $34 to $84, $488 to $506. That's very short. That's what's wrong here. I think this number is too large. Okay, so the top got overwritten somehow. That's what happened. And that's probably what it is. Would that be min? What do I do for this one? I did left min, right max. Top min. Oh, this should be bottom. That's probably what it was. I don't know what you're chatting about, Tower Strike. Okay. The major ticks are way too long. I think it's because I made the ruler really big on purpose. So yeah, it's working again. Although I think there might be too. Well, I got. Yeah, it's okay, right? It's fine if we have a lot of major tick marks, right? I thought of a way how I could fix these so that it actually aligns with that the center of the pixel. But I'm not going to deal with it tonight. But I do have something in mind to fix that. I kind of feel like we should take that height and like multiply it by 2 just to make the intervals look similar to the horizontal intervals. The idea for that is that the test in here would be height times 2. Or let's do a constant. Height times vertical major interval height scale. I'm terrible with names, but as long as I have some name, we can start from there. So I'm going to set it to 2. So that it'll space them out so that they're twice the height instead of 1 times the height. So there should be fewer major intervals now. Okay, while I was doing that, I should have gone and made the ruler not so wide. Okay, this is bad though. It said I couldn't. It said it couldn't fit any major ticks in there at all. And now I can't recreate that issue. Was that because of Zoom? Don't know. You guys saw that. Oh, there it was. Now what the heck's going on there? Why can't it draw anything there? The base interval is 1. Oh, I think it's too aggressive in that base interval. It's like, oh, I know how I could fix that. We could, because it's too aggressively rounding down, we could let it go up. So that's in here. I can go to 20 and maybe even to 50. Okay, I don't know how that window got on front, but that's fine. Bugs are always undocumented features. Yep. Okay, I think that fixed it. Because there we go. So there it goes to interval 20, which is fine. It didn't do interval 10 because they'd be too close together. But the yeah, that's fine. We'll stick with that. Okay, now let me get rid of all these annoying print lines that we don't need anymore. Don't need that. Print line. Okay. Let's make it not so wide. Although I'm wondering if I'm going to run into issues where, like, if there's 1,000 pixels, the number itself will be too wide, and it's going to have trouble drawing the ruler. The horizontal ruler it doesn't matter how tall the font is, but when we're drawing the vertical one, see, the width could become too wide if we go into 4 digits, right? That's what I'm worried about, I guess. I think then I should test with 4-digit heights, and then if it doesn't fit, I'll probably just make the font smaller. Right now it's just wide enough to fit 3 digits. Yeah, I think I'm going to end up just making the font smaller. Okay, but first, minor intervals. Hopefully this isn't so bad. So it's just, oh, that didn't get renamed like before because it was all commented out, right? So here I got to do the control D, the command D trick. Bottom, and then left becomes top. Then ruler line Y becomes X. Okay, now I gotta flip the X and the Y, right? Oh, there's one more. Top. So that range is correct. So this is rename that to be pixel height. Is the inner area height. Another one down here. Wait, we calculated it twice. Why did we do that? Probably did the same thing on the horizontal code. So let me go quickly fix that. Yes, we did it twice. We don't need to do it twice. In fact, why am I doing it inside the loop? Well, it's not a loop. That's why. We can do it inside the loop because it's not a loop. That's 8. So left UI becomes top UI, right UI becomes bottom UI. See, this is like, even these simple things are hurting my brain. Okay, and then for these marks, so first minor, add that after multiplying the minor interval, while we don't hit the bottom. If this is if it's a major mark, skip it. The position is top, bottom. This is height here. And then instead of drawing a vertical line, it's a horizontal line, right? So that really it's flip the 2 coordinates and then we don't want to use that constant, right? Or maybe it's fine. It's just going to draw a very thin, it's going to draw a very short line horizontally. That's only 4. Oh yeah, as long as we shift the selection text. So I probably gonna have to shift that. But anyway, this should just work, right? What's the warning I'm getting? Oh, that warning. This probably has an, yeah, it has a cast precision losses. Or did that? We just have to fix, we have to, when we refactor, we fix all the crud. Hey, I think it's working. Okay, but I have to shift the, see how the top selection mark is above the minor tick marks, but the ones on the left are drawing over them. So I need to shift them similarly. So I had a shift thing, right? Yeah. So do I just do the same thing? This, I actually don't think I need that. I think I just need to lift it above the minor interval, right? Yeah, don't I just take ruler line y and subtract minor interval size? Keep that commented out for now. Let me see if if that's all I need, then I'll just shift the left text the same amount. W for win. It's definitely looking better, this ruler. Oh wait, that I moved the wrong text. That was messed up. I still need that. So that wasn't it. It's the selection one, right? Selection horizontal mark shift factor. That's what it was. Yes. So it's I don't. Yeah. It should just be ruler minus that, and I just need to import that. Oh, it's not gonna. No, it will. I did import it, so it will work. It just needs to be. Need to fix the import because I prefer super over rather than crate whatever. Okay. Oh, but it shifted it the wrong way. Aha. I need this. Because it's always from the top left. So it's this minus, well, minus that, right? Really, it's that minus that. Same thing. Doesn't matter the order in which we subtract things, but I wanted to keep the two things that are related close together. So if that works, I do the same thing for the selection left. Yep, that worked. Okay, good. So fix this import. We don't need that one, and then this one is just super. Super. Okay, and then I'm going to use the same thing for the no references, right? So this text position is on the vertical ruler mark right here. So it's, yeah, it's x minus the interval size minus the width. I think that's right. kind of danced around that change a bit more than I needed to, but that's okay. Cool. I think it's looking really nice now. Let me try to fix this one problem where, like, when really zoomed in, the top, bottom, left, and right are not pixel aligned. I think I saw the part that actually controlled that in here. So where we the position we give here, if instead of top, I just give it what we compute later for first or like top image. How does this work again? It's like yeah, I computed it later. Where did I do that? Inside of here, maybe? This one, I think. Image plus 1 divided by interval. Is that right? No, that's the first. That's something else. Ah. Was it in range? Oh, it was this. This is what it was. Top UI. So I need to add a half pixel height. So I need to know the pixel height. So I'll just copy that code. Okay, and then go back a little ways to where we're drawing this stuff. And yeah, instead of top, well, we're gonna calculate that. Oh, I need to know what the range is. Do I calculate that later? Calculate it here, so let's just calculate it early. Right up here. So we get the range, we get the pixel height, and we get the half pixel height, and that allows me to add the half pixel height here. And then this one, we need to subtract it. I think that will fix the vertical ruler, and I just need to do a similar thing for the horizontal ruler. So it shouldn't really move the text unless we zoom in a lot. If I did that right. So that can't tell, but if I start to zoom in enough, you should start to see, yeah, see the top and bottom kind of squeeze into where they should go. So it should always line up with the selection when the selection is on the top or bottom row. It should always line up now, even if we're zoomed in far enough. Okay, I like this. I think this is pretty much perfect now. Let me do the same thing for the horizontal. So horizontal. Can I just take what I did for the vertical and just change it around? Let's see. Let's see if I can do that. So back on the horizontal one and like right here, right? Near is text right full interval bounds. So right after the interval bounds is first setup. So right here. The range is right minus left. Pixel width is inner area width divided by range. Half pixel width is half of it. And then we can add it there. Whoops. I don't know what I pasted there, but I'm supposed to paste half pixel width and then subtract half pixel width there. All right. Oh, I'm probably recalculating half range, right? Because I probably calculated it later, and I'm supposed to move that, not duplicate it. And there we go. Zoom in enough, and it stays aligned. Text gets awfully close to each other. Oh, we got the bug reproduced. There's some kind of floating point thing. If I zoom in and out, it fixes it. It was dragging, right? Dragging caused that? Yeah. When I drag to the left, sometimes Actually, sometimes it's happening when dragging to the right. So sometimes we're getting floating point error there. That's really weird. Huh. Why would I be getting floating point error on the right? It's specifically the right image variable. Pull the left side to the left, that offset bugs you. Oh, this much? Here, I'll fix that for you. There. There's still a border of like, I think it's easier to see on the right and the bottom. There's a physical keep away margin or padding of the window host, and then I think there's a little bit more margin than where we draw the line out to. Also, actually, I probably should just draw the line all the way to the top. You know what? I think that there's an extra margin on the top and left. Yeah. Anyway, for the widgets area, this really should be the left edge and the top and left down here. So to make the ruler smaller and get more real estate, I just use a smaller font. So you're saying pull the left side to the left? You just meant because I had the aspect ratio wrong and I was doing this, right? So just fixing the aspect ratio of the window. That looks good to you, right? But now I'm trying to wonder how. Now I'm wondering how do I recreate the bug with the floating point error? It's probably because it's doing math and not rounding. It would be that horizontal ruler. It would be the right UI. No, right image. This thing. Yes, because it directly prints it here. So it's already bad by the time it gets into this function. So so it's this math here, simply subtracting 1. Really, it only matters when we print. So why don't I just round these as they get printed. Then if it's slightly off because we subtracted 1 from a very large number, I guess that's what happens, right? A large number like 100 and you subtract 1 from it, you don't get exactly 99. You get like 99.99 or 98.9999. They'll probably want the similar thing on the vertical ruler. So we'll round these. Now I have to remember to look out for that floating point error in the display if it pops up other places. It actually might pop up in the major marks too, right? I probably want to round them there too. I've never seen it happen on the major intervals. Was only seeing it happen on the right, and I saw it on either the top or the bottom at some point before. Hey there, TS Just. It's a stream, but it is getting late for me, and I'm trying to get better at. It gets like 11:30ish my time in the PM, so 23:30 Pacific time. I need to wind down and go to bed. And I've been really bad at that. I've been like staying up. Yeah, see, you guys are just annoyed because I'm not maintaining the aspect ratio when I do that, right? Okay, I'm gonna declare it done, and it just needs to be refactored and cleaned up later, and I can do that next stream. So that means we're sending it out of the virtual machine, and I have to remember to check it into Git after the stream. And I'll be back on Wednesday, I guess. When are you moving to Sweden so you don't have to stream such a weird time? Hey, TS Just. I also stream on the weekend during my morning-ish, like between breakfast and lunch. So that's my compensation to Europeans. Is that although I stream at a very bad EU unfriendly time during the week, out of necessity, the weekend will be better, right? So no one new to rate, so I think I'll just end the stream. So on the way out, let me update my to-do list here. Because I can say that this is done now. Done! So I should just formally add this, right? Refactor image viewer. So that's going to be a huge task on its own. So I need to do that. This one we can do later. It's independent of the image viewer. That's more like polish to the image viewer. Because right now, that's in the magnifier, right? Magnifier is not its own module, and I think it might become its own module soon. Oh, it's in selection. Take that back. It's part of the selection stuff. Draw, magnifier, image, border, right. I think it's just part of draw. Draw zoomed area. That's where it is. No, it's here. Cursor and label. Yeah, so right now it's sort of hard coded that what we print in the magnifier, which I haven't really been showing, and I should probably show you guys that. So the idea is if you either you don't want to zoom out all the way, or you can't, you can hold down Shift, and now there's a little magnifier, and see how there's a hash mark and then 6 hex digits. So that is the RRGGBB, the RGB value of the color that we're highlighting. More red, higher. The first value, this is higher middle value because it's green. Black is going to be near 0. White's going to be near FF. So one thought I had is, what if I also want to print the palette index? Because in the main UI, hold that thought. Wait for it to compile. Happy 10,000 days of curl? Have we reached a milestone for curl? So yeah, to complete my thought, what we're showing in the image view right now is just the pixel color, but what we had in the original GUI for an image data is it's a paletted image. So what if I wanted to show the index in the palette along with the RGB value? So my idea for that would be something like image viewer would be given a function to call to render the text for a given pixel in the image. And then so rather than hard coding this text, it would just call a function to get the string, and then so basically extracting this out to the function that's injected, a dependency that we injected to this thing rather than hard coding it. So that's what I want to do for this. This is unrelated, unrelated. Yeah, moving it to its own crate and refactoring it are the last things I want to do. Oh, and the thing I was just talking about. So there's 3 things left with the image viewer. Move it out to its own crate, refactor it, and then separate and use dependency injection for the actual text that's drawn. And then actually, before I forget again, consider reducing size of ruler text font. And oh, there's another one. Image viewer. Test with images with having more than 999 rows and columns. Need to do that. Need to do some testing, because that might reveal that I need to tweak the numbers. I could also make those numbers something that the caller can set. There could be defaults, and then you can configure the image viewer with some of that stuff. That's maybe another thing. Consider making some or all constants configurable. Because if I want to make the image viewer reusable and use it in the future, the decisions I made on how I like the font I'm using, the sizes here, I really should leave them as defaults, but allow them to be reconfigurable, right? Like the magnifier that is 5 by 5, maybe you want 10 by 10. I don't know. So yeah, lots of things to do. I think the next stream on Wednesday, what I'll be doing is I will be doing a bunch of refactoring. And part of that refactoring is this moving it to its own crate. So I hope to see you then. And I'm just going to go to bed now. So I'm not going to rate anybody. So leave it up to you to find the next person to watch. So have a good rest of your day or evening. See you later. Bye. Bye.